Hi Sunshiners, I've got a question for you. Are you a catastrophizer? Do you make mountains out of molehills? Is a little problem a massive problem? You know, what is it that you think about or feel when something goes wrong? Do you get all, oh my God, this always happens to me, and why is it always me, and what's wrong with me, and all that sort of stuff? Or are you a bit more of a chilled out and calmed person, and you know things like that don't bother you? I just wanted to share this with you, and it says, how bad can it get? So really thinking about it, sometimes when you look at something and you think, oh, this is just a nightmare and I just can't cope anymore with it. Is it really as bad as you think it is? Or is it you that's making it into a bigger catastrophe than it needs to be? So I wanted to share this with you, and it says, this is quite a deep one, but here goes. So it says, are you a catastrophizer? A friend shares your message and you go from feeling mildly peeved to thinking everybody hates you and you are destined to end up alone. Or you mess up an exam or a work project and think, that's it, I'm going to flunk all my exams or lose my job, and then end up penniless and probably alone again. Now, if that sounds familiar, this exercise is a great way to slow down your thinking pattern and to find a little perspective in what you're doing and what you're thinking at that moment. So, noticing is a start. Be aware of your disaster. Thinking is brilliant. Try saying out loud to yourself, I'm catastrophizing. Because if you've got your problem, say, I've just failed this exam, so everything's going to go pear-shaped and I'm going to be up the creek without a paddle. If you just think about that and put that into a bit of context, then maybe it's not as bad as what you think it is. And initially you're probably thinking, oh, good grief, what am I going to do? But just actually think about it and analyse it a little bit and just see. So then you can question yourself. Catastrophizing focuses your mind on one terrible outcome as if it's a certainty. Ask yourself, do I know for sure that this is going to happen? How sure am I? Can I rate the likelihood on a scale of 0 to 100? It's like, I'll give you an example. Say you're going for a job interview, or you've gone for a promotion at work, something like that. And you're already saying to yourself, I'm not going to get this promotion because that person doesn't like me. Or I'm not likely to get this job because, I haven't done enough research, or whatever it might be. And you think about that then and think, well, is that true? Or is it just me thinking that, because I'm anxious or I'm scared or whatever, So just question it. Then broaden your thinking. As well as your absolute worst, come up with other possible outcomes, an unpleasant but not too terrifying one, a no biggie neutral one, and perhaps even a turns out okay in the end one, and rate the likelihood of each one. That exercise there, just that little bit on its own, can make a huge difference. Because if you think about, you've got your terrifying thing, whatever that may be, and then underneath that you could have your one it's unpleasant, but it's not, it's not as bad as what I think it is, and then one that's quite neutral. So it could be perhaps, I go into this interview, yes, I don't get the promotion, but they've offered me something else instead. Or, what if you do get the promotion and you do get the job that you're going for? Are you going to be really happy, or is that going to make you even more anxious? Or what is it that you're going to do in that bit there. And then speaking kind words to yourself, which is something we don't do very often, to be honest. If we're talking to ourselves, it's normally something negative, or it's a thought of something that we've been thinking from years and years ago. We very rarely give ourselves self-talk and it be positive talking. So speak kind words. Think of something reassuring you can say to yourself right now. Whatever happens, I will cope. I have faced difficulties in the past and I can do it again. Everything is okay right now. And then I want you to write down your disaster thoughts and your answers to the questions. Writing things down is a great way to gain a little distance from anxious thoughts. As you've probably heard me mention quite a few times, journaling for me is a massive thing. If I'm feeling anxious about something, or something's not just coming together quite right and it's making me feel a little bit jittery or whatever, then I'll write it down. I'll get out my writing pad, my journal, whatever, and I'll write it all down. It might only be a few sentences, but I'll write it down. And then, but just don't write it down thinking about it. Write it down and, you know, just let it flow. And then go back and read it and see what it is that you've actually written that's come from your subconscious mind, as opposed to coming from your ego, if you like. So next time you think that something's really bad, or it's going to be really bad, then give that a go and see how you get on. Okay, see you all soon. Bye for now.